25 years. See Mid-South Lumber for all of your DIY projects, including windows, doors, siding, lumber, and millwork. Are you building a new home? Bring your contractor in to Mid-South Lumber and meet with a member of their sales team to discuss your framing, siding, windows, and doors. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City. 717 West 11th Street.
CBC Construction is looking for a few good men. At CBC Construction, our greatest strength lies within our talented team. Join us and be a part of a dynamic company that values its people. We offer a tremendous opportunity to create a future for your family and the Florida Panhandle. CBC Construction is now hiring. Call us at 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com to learn more. CBC Construction. Be part of a winning team.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
Woo! Welcome home, baby.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. And a good morning, Northwest Florida. You are tuned in to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. How we doing this morning, Panama City Beach? James Fife here in the captain's chair, taking care of you on this Friday. Happy Friday, all. Our weekend is quickly approaching. You can call the show. You can text the show 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us on all those places as ESPN Northwest Florida. Download our app. We are on the Google Play Store. We are on the Apple App Store. Again, ESPN Northwest Florida is what you need to know. And follow the website, ESPNPC.com, for everything going on here at the studios. Beach flags are yellow today. Celebrate, beach bums. We've had a nice streak of yellow days out there, and it doesn't look too rainy right now, so you might actually be able to get out there and enjoy it. Hanging out with me today, Bone Crusher on the ones, on the twos, making us go out to that thing that we call radio.
I heard there was a little bit of seaweed on the bay side. Someone was kind of bummed out about that, but otherwise the water should be pretty good. And it seemed like you were almost kind of rapping to that bumper music we were playing. So I don't know if you want to get. I can challenge you to a rap off.
Oh, what are we going to rap? Oh, yeah. Me and a wrap off? That's awful. Yeah, no. Okay, I will definitely lose on that one. Yeah, I would, the notorious B.I.G. would crumple me up and put me in the back of a car and drive me off, into the Hudson Valley, where he could just throw me into the river and never find me again, because I will be a lost radio host at that point.
Yeah, that was a rap song right there.
All right, guys. So today we are going to have a conversation about the top sports video games of all time. So if you got anything to say about it, or if you just want to call in and talk some sports video games with us, give us a call, 850-215-6290. And I still have not gotten a review on College Football 26 yet. I need to know if I need to get it. I need somebody to call in and tell me how good or how bad it is. I just want the truth, even if I cannot handle that said truth. Well, we got 15 days now till college football. We have 17 days now till the National Football League officially kicks off, though we do have preseason week 1, 3 games already in the books from last night, and we will have more games coming up throughout the weekend. Football is back, and it is a good thing. Let's get into some scores from last night. We'll start off in the WNBA. The Dream taking on the Sky. The Dream get the big victory over the Sky, 86-65. The Sun taking on the Sparks in Los Angeles. The Sparks get the victory over the Suns, 102-91. And the Mercury taking on the Fever in Phoenix, Arizona. The Mercury get the victory, 95-60 over the Fever. Let's roll on into some baseball scores from last night. A shortened schedule yesterday for Major League Baseball. Not sure why. I guess it's because opening of not regular preseason, but opening week 1 of preseason would be my guess. But Thursday has been a lighter schedule day over the past few seasons because Major League Baseball did stick in those 6 extra days off throughout the year. So mostly Mondays and Thursdays are the days that you're going to be seeing the lack of games to allow guys to travel for. So last night,
Athletics taking on the Nationals. The Athletics get the victory over the Nationals 6-0. The White Sox taking on the Mariners. This game had to go into extras, and it took even 11 innings, even with the Manfred man, to get this game wrapped up. The Mariners do get the victory, however, 4-3 over the White Sox. The Pirates taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Paul Skeens gave up 7 hits last night. That's the most hits he has given up in his entire Major League Baseball career. Even though he did give up those 7 hits, no runs for the Reds last night. The Pirates get the big victory 7-0 over the Cincinnati Reds. And our Atlanta Braves were on the airwaves last night taking on the Miami Marlins. Braves came out with a very nice first inning, getting that 2-run lead. Ooh, that was pretty. The Braves were going against Erie Perez, who, let's just say, has not had the greatest numbers against the Braves this season. His first 2 games against the Braves, each game he gave up 7 earned runs. And in this game, he gives up 5 earned runs. But at least this time, he got a little bit deeper into the game. He made it 5 innings, unlike the last 2, where he made it a total of not even the whole first inning and got pulled in the second inning. So maybe he's figuring out the Braves, but he is still not putting up good numbers. And let's just say when next time if the Braves see the Marlins, which I don't think will be any more. No, they do have one more set of games against the Marlins coming up, so maybe the Braves can see Perez then and give him another shellacking. But then the Braves come out, nice 2-run home run in the first inning, but during the second inning, I don't know what happened, guys, but 5 runs given up by Carrasco in the second inning. It was not a pretty picture. Marlins looking good. But then the Marlins get another run in the 4th inning. Braves are now down 6-2, and it is not looking pretty, guys. But then in the 5th inning, the Braves bats come to life. 3 runs in the 6th inning, 2 runs in the 7th inning, and 1 run in the 8th inning. And Raisel Iglesias comes out into the 9th inning and closes it down and gets the save. Raisel looking better now than he did for the last, not even last couple months, like basically the whole middle of the season past like the first 3 weeks. And then like these last 2 or 3 weeks, he is starting to look good again. For the Braves last night, getting hits, we have Olsen with 2. We got Baldwin with 3. We got Ozuna with 3 and a home run. And Baldwin got 2 home runs last night. Thank you very much, Drake Baldwin. We got Harris with no hits. That broke one of my bets. Albies even, contributing last night with a hit. Eli White with a hit. Orneal's getting 2 hits last night. So that is the hit list for the Braves. And like I said, 3 home runs last night, 2 by Baldwin, 1 by Ozuna. Pitching last night for the Braves, they had to go through 5 guys to get the win, but they did get the win. Carrasco in for 5 2/3 of an inning, giving up 6 earned runs. Dodd coming in to finish out that 6th inning and just collects the strikeout. Good on him. Johnson coming in and gets the win on the game because, he came in the 6th inning. The Braves got the lead in the 6th inning. Therefore, it makes sense for me that the official score do give him the win. So Johnson with the win last night with 1 inning pitched, collecting 1 strikeout. Lee coming in for the 8th inning, gets 2 strikeouts. And Raisel Iglesias, like I told you, coming in for that big save, striking out 2, getting the save. Braves win. Braves now 48-66 on the season. The Marlins now 56-58 on the season. NFL scores from last night. 3 games happened last night. Let's get them open. All right, thank you, Internet, for finally working with me. The Ravens taking on the Colts, this game in Baltimore, with the former Baltimore team showing up, but they did not get the win. The Ravens beat the Colts 24-16. AR, we were talking about him yesterday. We were kind of looking at his future. I was kind of poking the bear at the fact that he was the starting quarterback in a preseason game. Well, in the first quarter of the first preseason game, Anthony Richardson is taken out of the game after he gets, just trucked during a sack. broke his pinky finger, it turns out. So, do we see him the rest of the preseason? I'm going to say probably not. Are we going to catch him probably for week 1? They haven't ruled him out for week 1 yet. I'm going to say they probably, tape that thing up, do whatever they got to for it, and I bet we get to see him for week 1, unless just Danny Dimes looks absolutely outstanding for the rest of the preseason. Because, Danny is not a bad quarterback. He went 10 for 21 last night, 144 yards, no interceptions, but no touchdowns. Anthony Richardson, like I said, went out somewhere around the 7-minute mark of the first quarter, so he didn't get a whole lot of playing time, but was 2 for 3, 21 yards, and got sacked one time. Danny Jones got sacked one time as well. And then Riley Leonard comes in for the second half of the game, and while not putting up the biggest numbers, he put up nice competitive numbers that said, man, maybe I should stick around here. Riley Leonard, 12 for 24 on the day, 92 yards. Now, the Baltimore Ravens not playing any starters, basically at all. A couple of starters, couple of rookie guys, couple of second-year guys out there. But any of your bigger names that are on like a veteran contract, not playing last night for the Ravens. Devin Leary was the guy that had most of the carry for the Ravens last night. A measly 3 for 12, 43 yards, 1 interception, and 1 sack. Cooper Rush, who we all remember coming in to not replace Dak Prescott, but coming in for Dak Prescott those last few years when he was injured. 2 for 4, 16 yards, and 1 interception. So I am betting the Ravens are quite happy that they have Lamar Jackson back there as the regular quarterback, because I'm going to say the backups they got right now probably just need to stay in that whole backup category. Other game last night, we get to see the Bengals taking on the Eagles. Eagles got the lead early. Eagles had a nice big lead early, but the Bengals come marching back. The Eagles did get the victory, 34-27 over the Bengals. Last night, we did see Joe Burrow last night for the Bengals. We actually saw him for most of the first quarter. 9 for 10, 123 yards, and 2 touchdown passes. Then we get to see all the backups rolling through for the Bengals. We saw Desmond Ridder had a 7 for 16 night, 91 yards, 1 touchdown. And then we saw Jake Browning coming in, because we know Jake Browning has been the backup there for a good minute because Joe Burrow keeps going down for some reason or another, mostly because the line in front of him is usually truly very awful. Jake Browning, 6 for 14 on the evening, 62 yards, 1 interception, 1 sack. Eagles not playing any starters, not at all, like none. So what did we see? We saw Tanner McKee coming in. He got most of the heavy lifting, got all the way into the third quarter, 20 of 25 on the day, 252 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, but sacked twice. Dorian Thompson-Robinson came in 5 for 8, 56 yards. And then we saw Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord in for just, last couple of minutes, mostly looked like what we would call mop-up duty, but game still kind of in hand. 1 for 5, 8 yards, but 1 big interception. That was not good. It did lead to the Bengals getting a touchdown within the last, like a minute and 40-ish in the game. So that kind of made it exciting, at least for all of us out there that were watching that game. And the nightcap game, I watched it until about halftime before, I'm sorry, everybody, but I did fall asleep because I had to come in and talk to you guys here today. So what did I see out of that one, though? Well, the Raiders and Seahawks end in a tie, 23-23. And in preseason football, we don't do any kind of overtime. We just look at the scoreboard and say, okay, folks, we're done. Thanks for coming. Out of that, though, my big takeaway from that is in the first half, right when we got near the 2-minute warning in the first half, they were going to have their first measurement of the game, and we're using that really new great technology that can tell us, hey, was this a first down or not a first down without running the chain gang out there? So, referees, blow the whistle, stop the game. We are calling for a measurement because, it's close to the line. Is it a first down? Is it not a first down? Okay. So we back the players up, and we have just the ball sitting there so that way the computers and the cameras and all those things can look at it and tell if it's a first down or not. And what did we learn from this? We learned that we cannot trust technology because guess was not working last night? The technology was not working last night. So, what did they do? Well, the umpire, or the referee, in his white hat, gets the news from the guys up top that, by the way, the technology that we're paying for, it's not working, so we can't tell you if it's a first down or not. And the chain gang doesn't actually have the chain between it anymore, so you can't actually run that out anymore as a backup. So, what does the referee do? He just kind of looks at the ball, kind of looks at the sideline and goes, okay, guys, it's about a foot short. It's just third down now. Keep playing. Yeah. I was like, I am so glad that we have new technologies. And that's one of those things that I did worry about with it, especially with totally not eliminating the chain gang, but just making it like an ancillary thing that just stands on the sideline as basically a performative art piece now, because that's basically all it does is it also has the point of the players knowing where, the marker is so they can look to the side and say, oh, there's the marker. I need to at least get that far. But taking away the chain so you can't run out there, what happens? The exact thing that we figured would happen. The technology said, hey, I'm not working right now. Can you please come back later? No, I don't need you to come back later. I need you now, technology. Right. No, no, not going to work. So hopefully we play preseason games to, smooth things out with teams. We also play preseason games to smooth things out with officials and referees and everything going on. So hopefully this is smoothed out and we don't have to worry about this during the regular season to see, hey, is this going to work? Is the technology going to be there? I kind of worry about this with baseball, next year if they go into, the automated ball strikes where you can challenge it. But at least baseball has a better process for smoothing this out, and it's called the minor leagues because they've been doing that in the minor leagues for a couple of years now. So it's pretty smoothed out. So hopefully they have already had those problems in the minor leagues where they're going, the machine's down. We can't tell you if it was a ball or a strike. So rolling forward. Fix it, NFL. I'm not against what you're doing, NFL. I get it. Future and progress marches on, of course. But you could at least still keep the chain gang guys, because you're still having them out there anyway. Yeah. You could at least still keep them in a readiness to go out and at least take care of these issues that do happen. All right.
Hey, version 1.0, is going to have some bugs. Give it a couple iterations.
You got a couple of bugs. Some programmer's going to go in there and, debug it by pulling all those moths and cockroaches and things out. But, man, come on. I was sold that this was going to be the next greatest thing, and we don't need all these people on the sideline. You're wrong, NFL. You're wrong. So out of the Raiders game, we did see some starters for the Raiders. Aiden O'Connell got the majority of the game. He came out somewhere mid-third quarter. Aiden O'Connell, 18 for 30 on the day, 205 passing yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Cam Miller came in next, 6 for 7 on the evening, 76 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 sack. And then Geno Smith. We didn't think we were going to see Geno, but we did see Geno for a drive. 1 for 3, 15 yards. For Seattle, we did see some starters here, but not too many. We did see Drew Lock come in the game, 12 for 22, 147 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. And then the young Jalen Milroe from the University of Alabama got a chance to hit the field, 6 for 10 for 61 yards. Also, 3 rushes for 38 yards for Mr. Milroe, with the long being a 27-yard scamper for the young man. Congratulations, Mr. Milroe. Nice game going on there for the evening. So that is last night's scores, last night's updates, and a little bit of a rant on why we always can't trust technology, but it will still be around. Hopefully, fingers crossed, all of this gets figured out. And this is one of the reasons that we don't need to go to fully automated 100% robo-umps. Because much like people, machines can have hiccups too.
Exactly how does this thing work? The way you described it, it sounded like they had to kind of like clear a path. Everybody step away, like
Like we can't get in the way of the ball and the
they have. So they got one of those fancy Sony cameras. They got like 3 or 4 of them around the stadium.
They're triangulating.
And they got 2 of them that go to each side and like look straight down on the ball. Then they got 2 more that are looking down to the chain gangs and measuring where the post is and then how far 10 yards is to get to the next post and all that kind of good stuff. So it takes a couple of cameras working together. And of course, they got all those fancy lasers that can measure and say exactly where everything is. And they actually show you a, replay in the stadium on the board. And when you're watching it on TV, if, whoever is carrying the game puts it up on the screen for you to see as well, they actually, digitize in 3D the ball and like where the line and everything would be.
Ooh.
So that way you can they can like flip it up. So it's like you can go from the sideline to the overhead view and you can still see the ball is short.
3D. Ooh, that we did that back in the 80s. Okay, it wasn't a big deal. Yeah.
But you got to understand, marketing, it's huge. We've not had 3D football except in video games, but it's new, man. Look at it. It's great. You're gonna love it.
That sounds like a very elaborate process just to tell us where the ball is.
I mean, there's a cheaper process. I mean, the NFL doesn't pay the chain gang guys. They basically get a free ticket to the game to, watch the game. But you're not losing any money there, NFL. So you're paying, I don't know how much for each of these cameras. I am sure those cameras aren't cheap. I am sure Sony is not donating them to you for free. And you've got to have them in each and every single stadium to do this. Again, not cheap. Because you got to have at least 4 of them in every single stadium. But the chain gang guys, no. We got to get away from that.
They were working for free. Now you have an entire expensive team of people making 6 figures.
And then you're paying somebody in a truck to run the thing and make it happen. So I mean, I guess it's one of those like we're having technology for the sake of having technology. Because I mean, was it really broke? Was the chain gang broke? Was there anything wrong with
calls on the chain gang?
Yeah,
what was the catalyst for this?
Future. It's just future. It's technology. We're joining the future, guys. That's my opinion on why it was the catalyst, is because all these other sports like soccer now was the ball fully over the line and all those things, and they can measure it with all these lasers and cameras and things. I guess the NFL just saw soccer doing it and saw other sports doing it and going, you know what, guys? We need to do that as well. Even though you've already had a system that was working quite perfectly. And the thing is with football, it's not like looking at soccer or hockey where when these things happen, there's still action that can be happening constantly with it, like on an offsides or a goal or something like that. If nobody blows a whistle, you still keep on playing, even if something did cross a line. But with football, when that ball stops, and you said it, that's where that ball is. There's no more action going on. So it's not like you have to have an instant return like you do in the other sports. You can take your time because guess what? That ball is down. And then not only do we not have a computer telling us where to set the ball, we got a human being telling us where to set the ball because they're out there watching it. Even though I'm sure there's technologies out there right now where you can put a chip in the ball and know where to put it.
The spot of the ball is already arbitrary in a way.
Yes.
So what are we doing?
Let's go last year at the end of the Bills game where they had tried to get that 1 yard. Did Josh Allen actually get that ball over that 1 yard mark for the first down or not? Again, it went down to spotting by the referees, and they watched it, and then they, had a replay on it to see where it went and couldn't really tell either. But, I mean, you could there's technologies out there, I'm sure, where you could put like a little microchip maybe at the end of each football so you know where the nose is and you know where the butt of the football is. And then if it's out on the field, you can have something reading it and going, yes, the nose of that ball made it to X point. But we're not going to do that, but we are going to replace the chain gang. I don't get this. It ain't broke.
Up, right?
Why are we fixing it? We don't need to fix it. It ain't broke.
Yeah, the measurement that works, they fixed, but the arbitrary measurement that comes before it is still arbitrary measurement.
It's still your human eye going, I think it was right here, even though that there might have been a mass of, there's 22 people out there. You could have a rugby scrum mass of 22 people out there, not even see the football, but know the guy is down. How are you going to be able to spot that football? You can't see it. You just take a guess. Yeah, he looked like he was in this area. Let's just drop it here. So, I saw that last night, and it just irked me a little bit because it was just one of those things. It was like, really? really. Now, if the NFL would have had this and it would have gone swimmingly the whole season and there wouldn't have been any mistakes at all and anything, everybody would have been like, oh, that's great. Look at what they did.
When they use it, how long does it take? Is it faster than the chain gang?
That was the big selling point, was it was supposed to take, like, once you get everybody away from it, it was supposed to take like 2 or 3 seconds. They would beep down to the referee, yes, it is, no, it's not, play moves on. So it was supposed to, quote unquote, save, like, in total of an NFL football game was supposed to save like a minute and a half or something. So we're taking a 3.5 hour event, and we're taking a minute and a half off of it and celebrating.
Hey, that's a bathroom break. That's a Cheeto break.
I mean, I kind of like the, there was always just that little bit of, excitement, build-up drama, watching, the chain gang run out there. And then seeing them, they set the one post. They got the one referee running down the solid line because that's how you can tell where you are. And he's holding the chain where that chain was at the solid line, and he runs out and he puts it down, and the guy at the tail end reaches all the way out and plants his. And then the guy at the front end, because you always do the front end last of those because you're building the drama, will pull it out and kind of set it behind and then plant it to see exactly where it is. We don't get that anymore. Now, did that take another 30 seconds over what the machine's supposed to do? Sure. But it was 30 seconds of pure drama. And that's why we tune in. We tune in for the story, but now the robots are taking the stories away from us. Thanks, AI. John Connor warned us.
They got the Roombas out there measuring the...
They do. I mean, why can't we? So there's a league in Europe, basketball league, that actually uses a glass floor, and everything can be projected from the floor. So like they're running advertisements and things like that. They can actually take like where the player was standing and show you on the floor like his foot was in front of or behind the line. It's some pretty cool technology there. I'm waiting for something like the NFL or, the NBA to pick it up, because that could be pretty interesting. That you could just like put all these things on the field now. Like, so that little yellow line that we get on the television that's not there in actual real life, you could actually put it on the field then. Because the whole field is basically one giant LED television screen. Will we get that someday? Maybe. Maybe not. The NFL is a little bit weird about that. And also, basketball, a little bit different than football. Those are some big dudes tackling each other on top of that thing. I don't know. We might break a little bit of glass or something with that. But you're tuned in to the Sports Blitz right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Call the show. Text the show 850-215-6290. When we get back, let's discuss the Jacksonville Jaguars.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Friday. A variety of some clouds and a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening, with a wind coming out of the east around 8 miles per hour and a high of 85. Tonight, look for possible thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies with a temperature near 76. Tomorrow, a high around 85 and some clouds in the morning and then definite thunderstorms. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Want to bet on sports but no clue where to start? Millions of players are already making moves on Hard Rock Bet. Your friends might be winning. Why not you? Bet with confidence. Bets by real players help guide your picks. Go with the crowd and cash in on the wins. Any pick that catches your eye. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us. New players bet $5 and get $150 instantly in bonus bets. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Bestway Portable Buildings has been your portable building specialist since 1989. Before you invest your hard-earned money someplace else, owner Jason Mulder invites you to stop by Bestway and get a quote on just about any size building. And whether you buy with Bestway or not, it's worth the trip just to meet Bestway Buddy. Say hello, buddy. Good boy. Bestway Portable Buildings, just north of Harts Marine on 231, and online at bestwayportablebuildings.com. The best in portable buildings. Tell them Buddy sent ya.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update, presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Drake Baldwin shines. Braves take Game 1 over the Marlins. I'm Barrett Salim. This is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Get clean car happy all season long at Tidal Wave with exclusive membership discounts, giveaways, and more. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com/Braves for more information.
Drake Baldwin's case for Rookie of the Year took another boost on Thursday. He hit 2 home runs, had 3 hits, had 5 RBI as the Braves topped the Marlins 8-6. He got off to a good start. Baldwin went deep in the first. That was followed by Marcell Ozuna, the 7th time the Braves have gone back-to-back this year. Drake followed it up with a 3-run home run in the 6th. That got the Braves within 1. They put up 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th to take the win. 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and most importantly, 5 for 14 with runners in scoring position for the Braves. Game 2 coming up tonight. You'll see Bryce Elder for the Braves. He's 4-8, has a 6.03 ERA and 78 strikeouts. The Marlins will counter with Edward Cabrera. He's 5-5, has a 3.24 ERA and 103 strikeouts on the season. For leadoff show with myself and Chris Domino at 6. First pitch against the Marlins, 7:15 Eastern, 6:15 Central on the Braves Radio Network.
Can you take the hits? Here comes the Sports Blitz. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz on the air, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call us. You can text us, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download our app, and make sure to visit the website, espnpc.com. And I've got great news, guys. I have been informed that we here at the studio, we here at ESPN Northwest Florida are getting Jacksonville Jaguars tickets. We are going to be giving them away. Every home game, we will be giving a pair of tickets away. I'm not quite sure how we're going to run the contest yet. We're still in the thought process on that, but be listening to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida for your chance to win a pair of tickets to every single Jacksonville Jaguars home game at Everett Bank Stadium.
I do know that there will be on-air components to getting these tickets. There'll be social media components, so make sure you keep keeping up with us on air and online.
Like I say, like, share, and subscribe, everybody, because that is the way of the future, is that social mediums. That's how we can interact with everyone all across the world that we have here. And a big thanks to Jack Patterson listening on Facebook, wishing us a good midday, everyone, and a good midday to you, Jack. Let's just do some Jaguars talk now, since I gave you guys the great news. Game 1 for the Jacksonville Jaguars. This will be preseason game 1. This will be Saturday night, 6 o'clock. It will be at Everbank Stadium. They are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Jags are 1-1 all time in the preseason against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They defeated the Pittsburgh Steelers 23-21 on August 14th of 2025, and then they lost to the Steelers 16-15 on August 20th, 2020. In the all-time record, the Jaguars are 60-54 in the preseason. In 2024, the Jaguars did go 3-0 for the preseason. That was the second year in a row and the third time in franchise history that the Jaguars were undefeated in preseason. The last time, 2023, they went 3-0. And then way back in the Wayback Machine, 1997, that was, the first or second year for the Jags, I want to say. But 4-0 that time for the preseason, because way back then, we had 4
preseason games. This will be the first chance we get to see head coach Liam Cohen. Now, he's done great things as an offensive coordinator. He's done great things as a quarterback coach. But this will be his first game as a head coach. And it's preseason, so learning process. But, I mean, this whole first year for him, I'm just going to go ahead and say this is a learning process because it is way different to be out there coaching than it is out there just being a coordinator or being a head coach. Got a lot more hats you got to wear as the head coach than you do as just, the offensive coordinator and or the quarterback. The Jaguars have stated, we have heard from Coach Cohen, that all starters, that is all Jacksonville Jaguars players, all starters will at least play one drive in tonight's game. They maybe play more. That was a maybe. But we will see all starters at least for the first drive. And we also know that Travis Hunter will be playing both sides of the football for this game. So we will see him on offense. We will see him on defense. And did not elaborate if we're going to see him immediately go one drive offense, then immediately turn around and play defense. Of course, they didn't play that hand, and I understand why. But we are at least going to see him performing at both ends like we did in college, and I'm hoping the best for him. I'm kind of seeing this as at the beginning of his career. Not really the beginning of his career, but the first couple games, probably a little more heavy on the defense. Let him get used to that because I think that's where he's going to be the main focus. And then we'll start seeing him rotating into the offense, couple plays a game to build him up into it because I don't know if he can do what he was doing in college where he was playing, 80% of the snaps. You don't play. You play 12 games in college. You play 17 in the NFL. That's 5 more games. That's almost a third of a season more that you're going to be playing. And a lot of rookies, when you talk to them, they'll tell you, man, I hit that wall at about week 14, at about week 15, just because nobody has played that many games, in college, in high school, in middle school, down in Pee Wee. You just don't play that many games. So we'll just see how he builds into it. But it's nice to hear from the coach that we will get to see him used as he was used, during his college days. And I said Seattle, but the Steelers, I just saw the S and went Seattle in my mind. Don't ask why. But the Steelers of Pittsburgh, Coach Tomlin has said, many of the starters will be on the field for a little while, but he did come out and say, we will not see Aaron Rodgers. I am not surprised by that at all. Why are you going to put Aaron Rodgers out there to get hurt? No, you don't want the old man taking hits that he doesn't have to take.
Right.
So I'm not surprised by saying, yeah, Aaron, not going to see him. I bet we don't see Aaron Rodgers. We might see Aaron Rodgers like in game 2 or game 3 for like 1 or 2 drives. I'm not saying we're going to see a whole lot of him. We will also not see TJ Watt. We will also not see Cam Hayward. We will not see Jonnu Smith. We will not see DK Metcalf and Jalen Ramsey also standing on the sideline. So big names, big payout guys that are important for deep runs. Steelers have just come out and said, no, not going to play him. So the Steelers kind of bucking the trend a little bit of what some of the other teams are doing now with saying, yeah, we're going to have some guys out there for preseason games just to see what we got. And for what the Steelers are doing, for what Tomlin's doing, Tomlin has been there forever. He's been through many preseasons. The guy knows basically what he's doing just from experience alone. So it makes total sense for me, for the Steelers, to rest the guys that, you don't want to lose for some reason. Injury report now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Cooper Hodges, offensive tackle, will be out. He is listed on the PUP list now, so that will at least last for the rest of the preseason, and we will see what kind of things happen to him if he stays on roster, if he gets cut, but he will not be a player in any of the games coming up through preseason. Mason Smith, the defensive tackle for the Jaguars, will be out for this game. It is an undisclosed injury, and he was put on the PUP list as cautionary procedure. Montrick Brown, the cornerback for the Jags, is questionable with a leg injury, so we may or may not see him. Caleb Ransaw, the cornerback, is also questionable week to week with a lower body injury. Cole Van Lannen, the offensive tackle for the Jags, is questionable with a shoulder injury and may miss the rest of training camp. Johnny Munt, the tight end that they picked up from the Vikings, will be out with is questionable with an upper body injury, though he was a limited participant in practice yesterday. Jalen McLeod, the linebacker, questionable. Lower body injury is week to week. And Eric Armstead, this is the big one here. The defensive tackle for the Jags is questionable for the whole preseason and is even questionable for week 1 with back discomfort. That's a big hurt right there. That is one of the big boys on the defensive line that the Jags brought in 2 seasons ago to kind of shore up that line, try to give it a little bit more size, try to reduce on the amount of run yards that they have been giving up over the last few seasons. So the Jags need to rest that guy, need to get him ready for week 1 because that is going to be a key piece of that defensive line. Steelers injury report. Donald Parham Jr., the tight end, is on the injured reserve list now. He got placed there on Thursday, so we will not see him for at least until, I think week 8 would be the first time he would be available to come back. Broderick Jones, the offensive tackle for the Steelers, is questionable with a groin injury. He did partake in some of the drills Wednesday. Corey Trice Jr. is questionable for the Steelers. He has a hamstring issue, and he missed practice yesterday. Jacob Slade, the defensive tackle, is on the injured reserve list, does not give reason. Dion Lowry, also on the injured reserve list, was placed on the injured reserve list last Saturday with a knee injury. So both of those guys out for at least a couple of weeks because of the IR, connotation with it. But luckily they have changed that rule to where they can come back after a few weeks, somewhere in the midway point of the season. So may see them later. Calvin Anderson, the offensive tackle for the Steelers, is going to be questionable. He is dealing with a leg injury that is considered day to day. Joey Porter Jr., the cornerback, is questionable with a hand injury. He has had limited participation in practice this week. Alec Higsmith, the linebacker for the Steelers, is questionable. Tuesday night, he was on the sidelines. Not really sure what is going on, so not listed an injury, just listed as questionable. Calvin Austin III, the wide receiver, is questionable for Saturday night's game. And Will Howard, the third string quarterback for the Steelers, questionable, has a hand issue. And I got to say, a hand issue in a quarterback, especially in the throwing hand, I can see why that's an issue because you got to be able to hold that ball and you got to be able to throw that ball. So that is the injury report for all of these teams. What else do we see through here? We already covered Eric Armstead. So the Jags, during this week of training, what have we seen? Well, we have seen some big-time catches from Parker Washington and Brenton Strange. Those are two offensive guys that are just absolutely having a good breakout couple of weeks here with the Jags in training camp. Trevor Lawrence really seems to be going after those two guys just on some shorter routes because, the tight end is always your best friend when he can get him out there just in the flat. Kind of get out there, stand by yourself, and if I'm getting, pounced on, it's just coming to you, buddy. Let's see. Brian Thomas did not participate in practice this week. He had a illness and is listed day to day. Travis Hunter yesterday, though, went back and forth on defense yesterday. He had 11 snaps on the offensive side of the ball and 18 snaps on the defensive side of the ball. So they are getting him ready to be a part of both sides of the ball. Jordan Lewis looking good, making some big plays on the defensive side of the ball. He got brought in this season to help shore up some of those cornerback issues that the Jags were having. Mostly not really issues, but just injuries, a lot of guys going down. So it was just more of a, let's just add some more strength to a position that we were just getting hurt with last year. So the Jags heading on into this weekend fully stocked, ready to go. Should be fun to see exactly what we'll get out of this. I really want to see
a connection between Travis Hunter and Trevor Lawrence. Just want to see at least one or two passes go that way, just to see if they're building any chemistry together, just to see if they're comfortable together, just to even see Travis Hunter going up after a ball on the offensive side. I want to see it. He's going to be there. He's at least going to be there for 5 years because he was drafted in the first round. And unless he's just bad, I don't see why the Jaguars would not pick up that 5th-year option. So let's see what we got. It is probably the most exciting draft pick the Jags have made in a good while. We could make the argument that T-Law was an exciting draft pick, but I don't think T-Law was too of an exciting draft pick because we really knew what we were getting with Trevor Lawrence. You knew he was going to be a quarterback. You knew he could scramble a little bit, was still mostly a pocket guy coming out of Clemson. So you didn't really have like a whole lot of questions on what was going to happen and how is he going to do it. But with Travis Hunter, there's just so many questions. And it's kind of exciting because you're asking important questions. You're asking, good, happy questions right now. You're asking questions about how great he can be, not how bad he can be. It's not a Will Levis situation here. So it is going to be interesting to see how much they have already connected together and what they can do together. Because, well, let's face it, football nowadays is a thrower's game. You're tuned into the Sports Blitz. You can call the show. You can text the show 850-215-6290. When we get back, we'll have some pick'ems going on. Give us a call if you would like to participate.
You've read the headlines. You've seen the highlights. How about the unfiltered truth?
Steroid era, you can like it, love it, hate it, whatever. It's Save Baseball.
Since 2017, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has been the undisputed leader for sports coverage on the Panhandle. If it matters in sports, it matters to us, and it matters to you. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorrento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast-charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
The newest winner captures the checkered flag with the sport's oldest race team. I'm Kyle Rickey. That story next on NASCAR Hot Pass, brought to you by eBay. eBay, things people love.
You ever try fixing your car and realize you're missing that one part? Yeah, been there. That's why eBay's my go-to. They've got millions of parts guaranteed to fit. I'm talking brake pads for when yours have seen one too many miles of stop and go. Oil filters, because you don't mess around with your engine care. Even got this cold air intake on my watch list. I might just go for it. To keep the ride cool and your DIY streak hot. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Welcome. It's about to get pretty wild here. To more where that came from. Go get it done. More fresh starts. Green. And fantastic finishes. More risk. More reward. More chaos, more chills, and more thrills. Welcome to more of what you asked for, and a whole lot more to come. Welcome to NASCAR. The NASCAR Cup Series brought to you by Busch Light at Homestead, Miami. Sunday at 3 p.m. Eastern on FS1.
In their 75th season in NASCAR, the Wood brothers celebrated their 101st Cup Series victory and the first for their driver Josh Berry, who won yesterday's Pennzoil 400 at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. The win came in Berry's 53rd Cup Series start in his first full season with Wood Brothers Racing. Behind Berry at the finish were Daniel Suarez in second, Ryan Preece third, William Byron fourth, and Ross Chastain rounded out the top five. Berry's victory snapped Christopher Bell's win streak at 3, with Bell finishing 12th. I'm Kyle Rickey. This is NASCAR Hot Pass on the Motor Racing Network.
The new Sports Blitz. Rants, hot takes, and huge reactions are incoming on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz is on the air, ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call us. You can text us 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download the app. Take us with you everywhere you go. And you can keep up with what's going on by visiting the website ESPNPC.com. And if you got a feeling about today's game, turn your predictions into an epic payday on the Hard Rock Bet. Right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets instantly after placing just a $5 bet. That's right, $5 will get you $150 in your account right away, so sign up today. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. That is 1-888-ADMIT-IT. All right, what are we going to get into now? I promised you guys that we would do a pick'em, so let's look at the upcoming weekend, and Bone Crusher and I will be doing a little bit of picks to the games that are going on. Let's just go ahead and start with tonight, and we'll start with the opener for the evening. We got the Browns and the Panthers. Right now, ESPN has the Carolina Panthers as a 6-point favorite with a 32.5 over-under for the game. I'll let you start, Bone Crusher. How are we feeling? Panthers, Browns.
Panthers, always a tough team, tougher than they look, so I'm going to give it to them. Carolina.
All right, BC says Panthers. For me, we're going to see a whole lot of quarterback play from the Browns. A whole lot of quarterback play, because we're probably going to see maybe 3, 4, maybe even different quarterbacks coming into this game. I don't think that bodes well for them at all. So I am going to go ahead and I will take the Panthers as well for this game over the Browns, because the Browns right now are just an absolute mess that I don't know what to make of right now. Next game we got for this evening, we got the Lions taking on the Falcons. Now, Michael Penix Jr. will be playing a couple of snaps for the Falcons. The Lions have not seen anything yet if they are going to be playing Goff or not. My guess would be probably not, since he's a really established veteran. But for me, how do I feel? Right now, it is a 3.5-point favorite to the Detroit Lions, according to ESPN. And the total is at 32.5. I am going to go with the Falcons at home, mostly because the Falcons are at home.
I mean, that's a good take. I feel like with Penix and the backup Cousins, I mean, those are two great quarterbacks. So even if we're playing the second stringer, I mean, he's a starter.
Yeah. So you're going to be flinging. So you're going to go with the Falcons as well?
I'm going to go with my Atlanta Falcons. Yes, that is my team, by the way. So
Bone Crusher crushing on the Falcons.
No matter what happens, I'm a diehard fan.
Let's go Birds. Dirty Birds. All right, moving on to the final game of this evening. We have the Commanders taking on the Patriots. This game happening in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Right now, the betting line is a favorite to the New England Patriots at a 6.5. That is the largest spread of the day.
and a 36.5 over-under, which is also our highest number for the over-under. Bone Crusher, hit me with it.
I'm on the fence, man. This one's too close to call.
This is one of those that you were seeing both quarterbacks starting because they're both just second-year guys. Now both teams have said they're going to only be out there for a couple of plays, a couple of drives. So we're not really getting any benefit, disbenefit from not seeing the starting quarterback. So yeah, it's a totally up in the air one. The Commanders are the better team right now, but that is the better regular season team, and we're playing a preseason game. So. Let's just throw a couple more wrenches in it. I am going to go with the underdog on this one. I'm going to take the Commanders on the road.
It's really going to depend on who's playing nose tackle. That's really which one to zero in on.
Absolutely. The biggest man on the field. Who is it? Who are you going to take? Who you got?
Or what the Commanders.
Commanders, commies. God, Commander's just such a cop-out of a name. I do not a big fan of it.
Did you just call them the commies?
The commies, yes. I don't know what else to call them. I don't like the name. I want them to get rid of the name. Change the name, guys. We got new ownership, so that does give me some kind of hope that we might get a name change. I mean, I even preferred the Washington football team over Commanders. It just seems so like, we don't really care what we're calling the team, but everybody wants names, so let's just slap a name on it.
Well, at least they didn't go with something like Bobcats or something lame and overused.
Yeah, something that's already been used by other teams. I mean, my idea, because the team's in Washington, D.C., and everybody doesn't like the team name, and there is tons of money in merchandising. Lots and lots of money in merchandising. And you get money from merchandising by selling more merchant products, right? Right. So how can you have more merchandising? Well, what you do is you change the team name every 4 years. Every time you get a new president in office, you give the team a new name. Like we could have the Dons right now. And then like the last time, it could have been the Joes. And then like we could have had the O's, I mean, you can just change it around every 4 years and sell new sets of shirts, new jerseys, new hats, new everything every 4 years. How is that not a marketing genius idea?
And I bet that's going to have another effect. It's going to increase voter turnout.
Oh, absolutely. Like, oh, man, this would be a really great name for a football team. I am definitely voting for him. Yeah, yes, absolutely.
I mean, when it comes to team names and some of these overused names, when I was in school, I was at a Division II basketball college called Georgia College and State University. We were the Colonials. There's only one other Colonial in the NCAA. Then 2 years in, they changed it to the Bobcats. And I lost my mind over that. And to this day, it still grinds my gears.
Why go away from Colonials? You're not upsetting anybody. I figure you're not upsetting anybody with that one, but you might be. I don't know.
They just had this big research project and decided that kind of identity would attract more students or something. It's like you spend a lot of money to do research, so you got to do something after you spend all that money.
Well, yeah. But I mean, how many of us out there chose our university of choice by the mascot? I mean, really? Is there a whole lot of people? I mean, there might be. We can let's get some money together, BC, and we'll do a study on how many people picked their college and university based off the mascot.
According to our research, people don't care about research. And finally, they went and killed and stuffed a bobcat and put it in the bookstore. I'm like,
Did they leave it like in the bobcat looking tough thing, or did they put him in a basketball jersey and give him a basketball at the free throw line? Because at least if you would have I feel sorry for the little animal there, but at least if you would have instead of putting it in its natural pose, it would have been at least a more entertaining thing to look. We're the basketball Bobcats. Here's our bobcat playing basketball. Yeah, no, I'm sure they didn't do that one.
They went and hunted that thing down.
All right, guys, hour number one coming to a close. Hour number two on the Sports Blitz. We'll start off with the oddities of the day.
and the panhandle never stops. Turn to 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with your latest forecast.
Up to the minute weather reports all day long.
A chance of thunderstorms and moderate rain.
In-depth storm coverage.
Winter Storm Enzo.
And breaking weather as it happens.
Hurricane Helene.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
We do have a tropical storm warning.
Rely on it.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Friday. A variety of some clouds and a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with a wind coming out of the east around 8 miles per hour and a high of 85. Tonight, look for possible thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies with a temperature near 76. Tomorrow, a high around 85 and some clouds in the morning and then definite thunderstorms. This weather forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Saturday, August 16th. Come to the Sneak Peek Land Sale at the Ranches at Creekside Preserve and get your gorgeous 20 to 50 plus acre estate in desirable Baldwin County on sale from only $139.9. That's right. Get 20 to 50 plus acres in Baldwin County from just $139.9 with excellent financing available. Ranches at Creekside Preserve features private large acreage tracts with beautiful woodlands, rolling meadows, and a peaceful creek, all surrounded by pristine natural beauty and abundant wildlife. It's your opportunity to live in Baldwin County, Alabama, one of the fastest growing coastal counties in the U.S. due to low taxes and a low cost of living. Don't miss out. Come to the Sneak Peek Land Sale at the Ranches at Creekside Preserve and get your gorgeous 20 to 50 plus acre estate in desirable Baldwin County on sale from only $139.9. Call 877-888-1415 or visit CreeksidePreserveAL.com. CreeksidePreserveAL.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WFieldQ Fort St. John. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Every game matters, so don't miss a moment this summer as the Braves try to battle back in the standings.
Acuna swings, gets into it, deep center, to the wall, streaking out of here. 2-run home run, Ronald Acuna, first pitch.
Tonight, the division battles roll on for your Atlanta Braves as they look for a big home win against the Miami Marlins at Truist Park.
Pre-game coverage begins at 6 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Now back to the Sports Blitz on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And you are tuned in to the Sports Blitz, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call us. You can text us 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. ESPN Northwest Florida is where you can find us there. Download our app. We're in the Google Play Store. We're in the Apple App Store. Again, find us, ESPN Northwest Florida. Beach flags are yellow. Happy Yellow Beach Flag Day, everybody. And you can follow the website, ESPNPC.com, to know what is going on here in the studios. And you can rely on ESPN Northwest Florida for your accurate and local weather from Joanna. So keep it here to stay up to date with what is going on. Big thanks to Mid-South Lumber, Ellis Agency Insurance, and Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Coming up in the next segment, we are going to be talking sports video games. So if you've got a favorite or if you got just something you want to talk about with sports video games, give us a call, 850-215-6290. And I am still looking on takes, still looking for reviews of college football 26. Guys, I need to know if I need to go out there and get the game or not. But it's noon. It is time for the oddities because truth is always stranger than fiction. Let's get this one started from Salt Lake City. The owners of the NHL's Utah Mammoth have filed a lawsuit against a hockey equipment bag manufacturer to settle a trademark dispute. The lawsuit filed in U.S. District Court in Utah claims the Mammoth and the Mammoth Hockey LLC have reached a stalemate in the trademark fight. Utah Mammoth and the NHL believe strongly that we have the right to use the name Utah Mammoth under federal and state law, and that our use will not harm the defendant or its business in any way, Smith Entertainment Group officials said in a statement. We have taken this action only after careful consideration based on the defendant's position. The Mammoth announced the new name and logo in May following the team's first season in Utah. The team used the name Utah Hockey Club for its first season after moving from Arizona to Salt Lake City. Oregon-based Mammoth Hockey issued a cease and desist letter not long after the new franchise name was unveiled, claiming potential customers would confuse the two brands and fans of rival teams would not purchase its products. The team and the company both have mammoth-shaped logos and are associated with Mammoth and Hockey, according to the letter. Mammoth Hockey launched in 2014 and manufactures large equipment bags geared towards hockey players. Mammoth Hockey intends to vigorously defend the litigation recently commended against by the Utah Mammoth of the National Hockey League and protect its long-standing trademark used in connection with hockey gear, goods, and it is manufactured and sold for the past 10 years. Mammoth Hockey co-founder Eric Olson said in a statement to the Desert News. So we couldn't go with Yeti for the team name because, well, you know, Yeti cups and all that good stuff, and Yeti and, you know, the Utah Hockey Club couldn't come to an agreement there because, well, name was already taken by a business and was selling stuff, so they went with Mammoth. Apparently they didn't check around enough to know that Mammoth bags existed. I mean, I knew Mammoth bags existed because I was a hockey player. What do these guys do? Oh, they're a hockey team. How did you not know? Hockey's not the largest community in the world. It is a large community, but it is a fairly tight-knit community. Most people in the hockey world know most of the hockey businesses, know most of the hockey, you know, people and names and sports and all those things. So, I mean, I just kind of figured when they announced the name that they had already reached out to the Mammoth Bag Company and said, hey, guys, we're going to be like the Mammoth Hockey Team. Are you cool with it? I figured that conversation already happened before you spend, I don't know how many millions of dollars on launching a new brand. Because it costs money to launch a new brand because you got to get your name out. You got to get new designs. You got to design new jerseys. It's not a free process. So you figured before, you know, during what we call the exploratory process of these things, you figured you'd reach out to these guys. Hey, you've got the same name. We just want to be Mammoth Hockey as well. Are you cool with that? Yes or no? And if it's a no, how much money can we give you to make it a yes? Because you know money can buy many, many, many things. Things like a sports name can be bought with money quite easily. I bet if you just said, hey, you know, how about you know, $500,000? We'll give you one time. You know, here you go. We use the name, you use the name, everybody happy. No. So that one, I saw that one this morning and I was like, really? Really? We had this argument with Yeti and we had the whole exploratory process with Yeti, but not Mammoth.
I can't wait to see this on court TV.
Judge Judy, I say my opponent over here.
Let's do this on Judge Judy.
That's where we actually need it, man. We need it on Judge Judy. I would love to see like actual serious, hardcore, honest to God, real cases settled on like a TV courtroom drama like that.
Yeah, Judge Judy should do the P. Diddy trial. Yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh, I would have loved to have seen Judge. I'm talking. You be quiet, young man. That would have been great to see her just like, nope, you're quiet. They're talking. You're quiet. Yeah, you know Diddy wouldn't have liked that one. All right, more news about manatees. This one coming to us from Mashpee. I do believe that is somewhere up in the northeastern part of the United States. The manatee recently spotted in Mashpee waters is very likely lost, according to local experts. The species prefers warmer waters and hasn't been seen around the Cape Cod area in around 10 years. While local waters have been warming in recent years, Director of Marine Conservation and Education at Haynes Whale Watcher Cruises, Laura Lilly, says the manatee sighting is likely due to the result of one individual exploring beyond its usual home rather than a new permanent addition to their local ecosystem.
They can come up to the water in ways and find themselves in some unexpected places. Certainly not unexpected, but absolutely unusual and a little bit concerning for the particular individual. It's pretty far north for them to be doing well year-round, so we have to do and have some concerns about the animal, said Lily. This particular animal is a little lost, a little strayed from its territory. We have seen some various animals come and go and are unexpected. For example, last year we saw a gray whale in the Atlantic Ocean, and they have been extinct from the Atlantic for a long, long time. They are species found in the Pacific Ocean. Lily said the gray whale likely came through the Arctic where the ice had melted. Comparatively, she says the manatee is not likely to have taken that same route. Go figure. With summer still in full swing, she advised boaters to be mindful around the whales and other marine species, adding that Haynes Whale Watchers cruises spotted the injured whale, likely hurt by a boat blade earlier that week. So manatees making their way north. Not surprised. I heard a story about a year, 2-3 years ago about a manatee making its way up into the Chesapeake Bay, and they usually don't get that far north because, well, the Atlantic side is way colder than the Gulf side, guys. Trust me on that one.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves the manatee. My wife paints pictures of manatee. She sells those paintings. But I got to be honest, I think they're kind of ugly.
Oh, they're cute. They look like little gray potatoes.
For my money, I'll take a dolphin, a nice, sexy dolphin over an ugly manatee.
Yeah, but the manatee, I bet, is going to be nicer to you than the dolphin. The manatee, I bet's like more of your friend.
Well, you're down in the water more than I am. You tell me what. Do you have a relationship with the manatee? You know any? You're down there scuba diving.
There was one.
You got a friend?
What was it? I'm going to say about.
You probably have some sea creatures down there.
Oh yeah. At the jetties, I actually know a couple of the critters that hang out in the jetties because they live in the rocks. That's literally their home. So I'm like
best friend.
You know, like I'm kicking by their front yard, waving at them. Hey, buddy. I mean, I got to say it was about 6 years ago. I was working in a dive shop down here, and we had a full-size manatee and a baby that actually was actually in the kiddie pool at the jetties for about a week and a half, 2 weeks during the height of summer. So that was pretty interesting. I got out there to go, kick around with them. They had, state employees, that work at the park rangers out there, making sure that nobody was harassing or molesting, the manatees. But they at least let you get in the water and get near it so you could take your pictures and see it and all that kind of stuff. And they just kind of sit there and just float. They don't really do a whole lot. Yeah. They just kind of float. And I've gone down to like Crystal River and places like that in the winter where they come into the warm water springs that are coming up. And I've seen, a couple 20, 30 at a time, which is kind of neat. You get to hop out of your kayak and snorkel around, kick around with them, take a look at them. They're kind of fun.
Do you interact with them?
Not there. I have been to some rescue facilities that allows you to interact with them because, like, they're injured manatees that they're trying to bring back to health, blah, 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 that I've actually gotten to, feed and pet and have an interaction with. And it's cute. Watching them eat, you'll see the snout kind of coming out and grab whatever it is. Looks similar to like a horse's lips coming out to grab stuff. They're just little sea potatoes. They're not really... they don't get real active. They don't grow real fast anywhere. They just kind of float around. The ones that I got to see in pet, they were actually, they were fine with getting pet. They'd come up to you and you could like scratch their head and they would just stand, they just stay there. As long as you were scratching them, if you stopped scratching them, they'd hit you with a flipper. Like, hey, you're forgetting about me. So they're cute little critters. I got to give them that.
The Paula Deen of the ocean.
Basically, let's just give them a big old thing of butter. They'll be happy. Florida man does whatever a Florida man can.
I know that guy.
Lake Mary, Florida, a 25-year-old Longwood man had an unusual reaction after being stopped by a trooper on I-4 for allegedly driving at 120 miles per hour, according to the arrest report. At around 2:20 a.m. Wednesday, Logan Mills was clocked driving a blue Honda Civic at 116 miles per hour on the highway in Lake Mary, the report states. During the traffic stop, officials said Mills told the trooper he thought he was racing him. Mills allegedly reached top speeds of 120 miles per hour, troopers said, violating Florida's new super speeder law that makes an excess of a speed limit by 50 miles per hour or more a arrestable offense. Mills allegedly admitted to driving 90 miles per hour, the report says, which was still 25 miles per hour over the posted speed limit. Mills was arrested and booked in the Seminole County Jail facing a charge of dangerous excessive speeding, officials say. Mills' vehicle was towed per the report. How many people, when you drive and you see the cops behind you, you figure, hey man, NASCAR, let's go, we're racing today, boys? No. Oh. Man, that's every time I see blue lights, every time I see red lights, that's what I'm going to do next time. When a fire truck is coming up behind me, I'm going to sit in front of it and challenge it to a race. Yeah. That's exactly how we're going to handle this one. I bet my Jeep is faster than your fire truck loaded down with all kinds of heavy stuff.
I think that cop was racing him.
I mean, technically, I guess if one of you thinks it's a race and the other one doesn't, and especially if the guy that is in front thinks it's a race, it's still a race. You got a point there.
Sometimes you got to race.
That's the cops, boys. Hit it. Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. Heinz and Smoothie King. Imagine that combination together. Heinz and Smoothie King have teamed up to introduce what Heinz describes as the first ever ketchup-based smoothie.
Ugh, I just threw up in my mouth.
This unique creation combines Heinz ketchup with an Aki sorbet, apple juice, strawberry, and raspberry. Heinz said that the smoothie offers a sweet and tangy flavor profile. The new smoothies are now available at select Smoothie King locations across the country.
So it's not a ketchup smoothie? It's got fruit in it?
It's got ketchup in it, and it looks like it's got some acai berry, some apple juice, some strawberries, and some raspberries to go with your sweetened tomato.
Yeah, you're going to need a lot of fruit to cover that tomato flavor.
That's the weird, I get it. Ketchup's a little bit sweet. It is. But it's also a little bit tangy and a little bit of spice even to it if you really get a little bit of flavoring to it. But, I mean, in a frozen smoothie, I'm thinking no. Yeah. No. That's one of those, you could probably give me a small little sip of a cup for me to try, and I'll try it. And I'll guarantee you I'll go, wow, that was awful. No, thanks. Because that's just two things together for me that just says no. No. One more for us. A 26-year-old man who drove a motorcycle through Pieta wearing only his birthday suit and a crash helmet has been fined 1,200 euros after being found guilty of negligent driving. Amin El Makif, a German national on holiday in Malta, was arraigned on Wednesday morning during a duty magistrate with Magistrate Noel Bartolo and pleaded guilty. Police Inspector Ian Valla told the court that the video showing the man riding a motorcycle naked down Tralic il Mimosa was shared on social media. Officers called up the owner to the rented motorcycle company who provided the name of the accused. The court explained to the accused that he was facing a potential prison sentence. Wow. The prosecution highlighted that he had fully cooperated with the police and turned up at the police station on his own will. The defense informed the court that the man was apologetic for his behavior. Legal aid lawyer Ingrid Zamet-Young added that the man was not aware that in Malta it was prohibited to be on a bike without a shirt. He is due to leave Malta on Sunday. The court found the man guilty by his own admission and fined him over 1,200 euros and disqualified him from having a driver's license for 6 months. Magistrate Noel Bartolo presided. Police Inspector Ian Veligated prosecuted, and legal aid Laura Ingrid Zemet-Young assisted the accused. So apparently in Malta,
You can't ride your motorcycle naked.
So
they just looked down on that, apparently.
He wasn't wearing a shirt, and he wasn't wearing pants?
He wasn't wearing pants, wasn't wearing shirt, but they caught him on not wearing a shirt.
That was
nothing in the law about not having pants. Only thing the law states is that you cannot be shirtless. So I'm going to guess somebody at some point is going to tempt this by having a shirt on, but no pants.
Porky pigging it.
Yes. Yes, going out and enjoying the day on that.
I bet that feels nice just to drive around in a scooter without any pants on.
Just a nice little breeze. Getting everything blowing out, getting everything dry. My only big concern on that is I have gone down roads before, and even if you're not behind dump trucks that are throwing stuff at you, there's stuff still being picked up on the road and thrown at you from tires and things like that. I'm just trying to imagine like what kind of things can be flung onto my non-clothed body that I think would not, one, feel good, or two, just something I probably don't really want against my skin that is flying off of a really hot road.
Yeah.
Takes all, man. It takes all really to have this world go round. That is just proof that everybody has a spot in this world, even though some people might not like it, even though you might have to pay 1,200 euros for what you did. You at least got to go out there and do it. So everybody, when you're going to Malta, if you're a motorcycle fan and you're heading to Malta, guys, just be aware there is a helmet law and a shirt law. Right. Make sure you got both of them on because they can get you for 1,200 euros, which would be around $1,280 US, somewhere in that current area because of what we are looking for.
We're doing exchange rates on that. People are like, oh, well, let me see if I can put that in my budget.
Can I afford this?
Some bucket list stuff, yeah.
Let's open the app.
Honey, I think we can do it.
Honey, we just need to get some euros. Do we got any euros, baby? No, we gave them up last year.
What's that travel company that goes to Italy?
I have no idea.
I guess this is Malta. This is Malta. This is Italy.
I mean, it's Malta's close to Italy, so I mean, not far off. Yeah. There we go. That's what we need to do. We can start a nudist motorcycle tourist company right here in Panama City Beach. I'm sure that would last all of one ride.
I feel like a naked French boy roaming the countryside.
All right, guys. When we get back to the Sports Blitz, we are going to talk some video games. So, if you would like to join the conversation, let us know what your favorite video games are. And I am still looking for a review for College Football 26. You can call us 850-215-6290. Sports Blitz, ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Football is here. We have turned the page. We're in the month of August, and it's full speed ahead. Except for the Commanders with Terry McLaurin, because now he's requested a trade. He's not better than CeeDee Lamb. Now you have to take inventory, and you have to be honest with yourself. Your agent has to be honest with you and say, hey, nah.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your weather forecast on this Friday. Partly cloudy and possible thunderstorms the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze around 8 miles per hour out of the east and temps near 85. Tonight we will have a possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies and be warm at 76. Partly cloudy in the morning but otherwise definite thunderstorms tomorrow and a high 85. This forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
Looking for dependable civil construction in the Florida Panhandle? CBC Construction has you covered. From land clearing and drainage to roads and underground utilities, CBC delivers high-quality work on time and on budget. Locally owned and operated, CBC is trusted by schools, developers, and municipalities. To learn more, call CBC Construction 850-740-3815 or visit cbcconstruction.com. That's cbcconstruction.com.
Every game matters, so don't miss a moment this summer as the Braves try to battle back in the standings.
Acuna swings, gets into it, deep center, to the wall, streaking out of here. Two-run home run, Ronald Acuna, first pitch.
Tonight, the division battles roll on for your Atlanta Braves as they look for a big home win against the Miami Marlins at Truist Park.
Pre-game coverage begins at 6 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
Woo! Welcome home, baby.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz is on the air on your Friday. Happy Friday, everybody out there. You can call the show. You can text the show 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Download our app. Take us with you everywhere you go. And visit the website, espnpc.com. And ESPN Northwest Florida is your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast. The next Braves game will be tonight, 6 o'clock for the pregame, 6:15 for the first pitch. Braves taking on the Miami Marlins in Truist Park. Atlanta Braves baseball on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored locally by Bill Bird Kia, PCB Hobby, Panama City Toyota, Hewitt Tire and Auto, and Hometown Towing. Now we're going to get into a sports video game conversation. So if you would like to join us on the show to talk about some sports gaming, 850-215-6290 is how to get a hold of us. And I also am still looking for that review of College Football 26. James Fife here in the captain's chair, Bone Crusher joining me on the boards, hitting the ones, hitting the twos. So on Complex, good website, complex.com, covers a bunch of pop culture things, covers clothing, music, things like that. Well, earlier this year, they had they sent out to the fans, hey, give us your top video games for sports. We're going to come up with a video game list of the top 25. So let's just go down this 25 and we'll stop and discuss the games that we remembered, we enjoyed. All right. Coming in at number 25, I thought this one would have been a lot higher on the list, but Wii Sports came out in 2006. And if we all remember the little Wii, it had the little weird controllers with it, and it had all kinds of fun little games with it. Very popular game, sold by, bunches, millions. I'm kind of surprised it was this low on the list because it really expanded the reach of sports video games for people, because even people who were not like me, who were a big-time sports gamer, because that's basically, I play sports games, I play first-person shooters, after that I'm kind of done. But this got out to, like grandma and grandpa and like other people for like Wii bowling and things like that. It was huge. So I'm kind of shocked it was that low on the list at 25. Coming in at
It was the first time that my niece was able to beat me in video games, my little tiny.
Yes, exactly. It was a great game I guess the reason that it probably got pushed all the way down to number 25 is because it wasn't a really like hardcore sports game for like sports gamer people. It was kind of built more for like having your niece with you, having grandma with you, things like that. It was literally a game for everyone. It was just sports was just the tie-in to it. And that's why I would have put it higher on the list, is because it had a much bigger reach. Now, were the graphics awful? Absolutely. Was the gameplay good? We can talk about it. Some games had, good gameplay to them. Some sports had really awful gameplay to it. Just really depends on the sport. And then, some people got really into it and got all the attachments to like where you could take the you could take that flat controller and stick it in a baseball bat. And then you could use that for the baseball one, make it a little bit better, more entertaining. But Still not exactly a pure sports simulation experience that we all so crave. Coming in at number 24 would have been Mario Golf. That was Mario Golf for the Nintendo 64 that came out in 1999. Did not play it. BC, got any experience with it?
No, all my golf games were like more simulators.
Coming in at 23, another one I thought would have been a little bit higher just because of popularity, Rocket League. Released in 2015, still has a pretty hardcore following. Actually, even now with the esports going on, there are guys out there who play Rocket League in leagues that make money.
Is that like a bowling game? What is it?
It's like, so basically Rocket League is two teams in a kind of a soccer field, and everybody has like a remote control RC kind of car. And that car is what you're using to knock the ball around. Okay. Excuse me. And you're using that to like try to get the ball into the goal. You got 3 guys on each team. There's walls at the end, so you like can't knock the ball out of bounds. It just goes up the wall, and you just got to go, chasing it around once it gets back towards the ground. And the whole purpose is to get the ball into the other team's goal. You score a point. Gotcha. So it's very, very similar to soccer, but also a racing game at the same time. I've played it with my cousin some, and it's fun. It's, I've passed some time with it, but it wasn't anything that I like hardcore played. Like, man, when I get home, I'm going to play some Rocket League. It was more like, my cousin would call, hey, you want a game? It's like, yeah, sure. I love the future because now you can take video games and you can play your friends all across the world. They don't actually have to be sitting with you on the couch and have their own controller on that couch. So, my cousin would call, hey, you want to play video games? It's like, yeah, sure. Every once in a while we'd load up Rocket League because it's fun. It's something different to play. So it's really good for like a community type event. Coming in at number 22, here is one that I played a lot of. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, game released in 1999. Oh, yeah. One of those great button mashers to where you try to do your ollies and your 360s, things like that. Had a good time with it as well. Coming in at number 21, this I actually played more than Tony Hawk, and very similar in style. It is SSX Tricky. It was released in the year 2000, and it is a snowboarders game. So you start at the top of the hill, and you go down, you go through the jumps, and you got the rails, and you go through the loop-de-loops, and you collect points by doing the tricks when you get over the jumps and running through things like that. And I had a buddy that was just absolutely great at it, so I sometimes played with him, and I got okay at it, but I just never got to the level that the other guys I was hanging out with at the time playing that got to. Coming in at number 20, we have WWE SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain. I got nothing for you there. Never played it. Bone Crusher? No?
No, I didn't play that. I played like wrestling on the original Nintendo. So I think I would probably enjoy it though.
I think I would like it. I had no personal connection with that one because never played it. Coming in at number 19 is a game that I did play a little bit of. NFL Street got released in the year 2004. So NFL Street was a 7-on-7 arcade style football game. Had NFL players in it, things like that. Yeah. If you're familiar with NFL Blitz, basically the same thing, but instead of having it on a field every time, you could also put it on a playground or put it on some, like a blacktop, or just have different places you could play it. But the game played basically the same as a NFL Blitz, where, it was very cartoony, very arcadey. I played it. I'm more into like more, style of games that are more real, that actually bring you in and is actual kind of a football game. Number 18, we got NFL 2K1. Yeah, I played a lot of the NFL 2K franchise. No questions asked. So much better than Madden. Way better than Madden. And I'm willing to fight you for it. Anybody out there that wants to say Madden be better, we can have that discussion right here, right now. Coming in at number 17, we got Fight Night Round 4. This game released in 2009. I liked the Fight Night games, the boxing games. I had the first 2. I don't remember 4, but I do remember the first 2, and I had a pretty good time playing those as well. A little bit different than some of your other, classic fighting games like Street Fighter and things like that. Much more sports oriented. Tried to get it as close to boxing as, you can get in a boxing video game. Coming in at number 16, we have already mentioned it. NFL Blitz, released in 1997. I played a lot of that one. I was in middle school at the time. So what do you do during summer break in middle school? You play lots of Nintendo 64. And I did. And Blitz was one of the games that I was constantly throwing in there to pass the time with my buddies.
Fun game, but seems kind of high. At number 17.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. It should be further back on the list because, again, it is a sports game, but it's not a simulation sports game, and that's what I'm really into. But they're just taking all sports games. Doesn't have to be a direct simulation. Coming in at number 15, we got Tiger Woods PGA Tour 2004. I've played some of the PGA Tour games, and I've had fun with them in the past. I'm not sure why the 2004 on the list versus other ones. I guess there was something added to it just to make it that much of a better game, or one of those steps into the future, like, oh, look, a new physics system or something like that. Coming in at number 14, I am reliving my childhood totally right now, Tecmo Bowl. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Good old Nintendo. The Nintendo Entertainment System, 1987. Didn't have an NFL license for that game, but they did have an NFLPA license for that game. So it was like, the Indianapolis Ponies, taking on the Washington Indians or something like that. But it had it had the NFL players' names that were on, the Indianapolis Colts and on the Washington Redskins at the time. So it was an interesting game. It was one of those. Madden had already been out. Madden had already existed by then, but it was just a different form. And I loved it. It was so much fun. I'll play it on an emulator every once in a while when I'm kind of bored. It's not too often, but I'll get it out every once in a while and go live, that little bit of nostalgia.
Yeah, back in my day, we had 8-bit graphics, and we liked it that way.
Oh, that's what we loved the NES, man. You had those graphics. You got the same kind of 5 or 6 animations every time there was a tackle. There wasn't a whole lot of change. Yeah, you hurt.
Back in my day.
Coming in at number 13, Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball. This game came out in 1994 for the Nintendo Super Entertainment System. Played a little bit of it, didn't play a whole lot of it, but my friend had an NES, I had a Genesis, so I didn't get to play a whole lot of it because of the whole, and we still have it to this day, the console wars. Which side are you on with the consoles? So I didn't get to play it a whole lot because at the time it was on Nintendo, and at the time I was a Sega guy. So I did play it. I did enjoy it. I do remember it, and it needed to be on the list because, it was an absolutely stunner of a game. What do we got coming up next? All right. Oh, man. Really? Number 12, NHL 94. No, I disregard the rest of your list. If that is not top 4, what are we even talking about here? NHL 94 basically created every single hockey game after it. It is the epitome of all hockey games. There has been nothing better than NHL 94 to come out. Now, has the games kind of gotten better? Have they become more intuitive? Have they gotten better graphics? Have they done all that kind of cool stuff? Yes, but just 94 with the blue ice. Like, it was a light blue ice. It wasn't even white. And the gameplay on it. It was like one of the first NHL games where you could play a whole season. It was one of the first NHL games that actually had the guys' names in there. It was one of the first NHL games that had, all the NHL logos in it. It was one of the first NHL games where you could lay hits to the wall and the glass would break.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one of the first NHL games that introduced fighting. It is way up there. Having it at number 12 is an absolute travesty, and I am going to question the rest of your list from here on out, because coming in at number 11, trust me, NHL 94 is way better, even though I did play this one as well. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 came out in the year 2000. Again, one of those great games, we're on your skateboard, going around through all the jumps, things like that, collecting points to go up against your buddy. Coming in at number 10, NBA Street Volume 2 came out in the year 2003. Didn't play it. Not familiar with it. Can't comment. Coming in at number 9, MVP Baseball 2005. Yep, that was one that I did play a good amount of. Probably the best baseball game that was out before PlayStation started making the show. Now, the show is great. I love the show. Totally great game. But I did get a lot of good times out of MVP Baseball 2005. One of the big things I remember out of it was one of the first games that you could like create your own team in baseball.
Yes.
So I remember making my own team and like using it for a whole year, and it was great. It was fun. Another interesting thing about this one of the few sports video baseball games that Barry Bonds let his likeness in. Yeah. Yeah, that's big. Yeah, he did not. Barry Bonds didn't like his name out on these things. I don't know why, but he always had his name removed from most of the video games. And it was his choice, not the games. Like, it wasn't the game saying, he's on roids, we don't want to take him, because, I mean, they were putting in A-Rod, and, they were putting in Schilling, and they were putting everybody else's on the roids. So it was literally Barry Bonds saying, no, I don't want to be on that one.
Now, at this point in the video game development, I think we're getting into IP connections. You can have IP to IP connections and play your friends across town or across the country.
Yeah.
That was
a huge step. Yeah, that would have been about that time, the early 2000s is when they started letting you get modems and things like that for your games and connecting them and, playing for, the Xbox Live or the PlayStation Network.
And we all had to learn the difference between a local area IP and a wide area IP address.
Yep. Yes, you did, because you could get into somewhere and go, I don't understand any of these fellas.
It says my IP address is 192.168.1.1. Weird. I don't
understand. Where am I going? You're going right here, son. Number 8, and way too high on this list. Call me and fight me about it. EA Sports College Football 25, the one that came out last year. Now, I get it. It got a lot of hype because the game was missing for over a decade. We didn't have any college football for about over a decade. But the thing is I played that game for a good month, and I tried to love it. I wanted to love it. I wanted college football to be back so badly on any kind of a console. But the thing, though, is you had 10 years to get this organized. You had over 10 years to build this game. You had over 10 years to prepare for this. And you put out a product that was halfway done, if halfway is even considered done. No, you guys, if you watch these things, the animations were not complete. You can stand there and you can watch the linebackers before a snap. They're swinging their arms. They're getting ready to go. But every single player on the defensive side of the ball is in perfect unison of swinging like they're line dancers. No, it doesn't look good. If you look up at the game clock, you don't look at the game clock at the bottom part. No. Look at the game clock up on the field behind the defense, over their heads, like every single stadium has. NFL, college, high school, pro, I don't care. They all got it. You watch that clock in the game, the one that's actually in the game, not the one on the scoring bar. It doesn't run. It sticks at 10 seconds the whole time. So if you're watching that clock to see if you need to snap the ball or not, it's 10 seconds. Okay, I got time. I can motion this guy. You motion that guy, you get a penalty. Time ran out. The clock still says 10 seconds. Why is the time run out? Oh, that clock doesn't work. Really? You're going to put a non-working clock in the thing? Come on.
It's a clock. How hard is that to...
You've already got it programmed in. I know you have it programmed in because it's working at the bottom of the screen on the score sheet. It works. Why isn't it working up there? Make it work.
This should be an easy ad that would take the programmers about a second to put that in there.
Yeah, it's a totally easy ad. That's one of those things that when somebody points it out, you go, okay, next update, guys, let's fix this.
That's a feature request.
And I went through like the first 4 or 5 updates, and they still didn't fix it. I even tried to play earlier this spring. I was just jonesing for some football. So I was like, all right, I'll try it again. So I re-downloaded it, replayed it again. All the new updates, all those things. Guess what? Still didn't work. It's a travesty. It is sad. This is why I want to get a review of 26 before I buy it, people, because I don't want to buy it and get disappointed like I did last year. Because I don't want to, sink $70 into a game that isn't complete. And it should be complete now because you had the game last year. You've had a full year to work on it. Finish it. Make it work. Make it an actual program. Coming in at number 7, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. Again, a game that I thought should have been much higher on the list, because who didn't play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? You did. I know you did.
I played it, and I remember my buddy got so frustrated because he would get stuck, and he smashed his controller because it kept beating him. It was great.
That was one that I'll still get out an emulator, and I will still play that one every once in a while, just because it is still a great classic. It's one of those few games from back in the 8-bit era that you can still play now, and it doesn't feel janky. You know, it looks weird because of the 8-bit graphics, but it responds to everything. It plays well. The defensive side of it, or the computer side of it, doesn't do the same thing every time, so you actually have to put some thought into it. It was a very well-produced game. I seriously love that game. Should be way higher on this list. Coming in at number 6, Backyard Baseball. I got nothing on that. I never, ever played it. Coming in at number 5. Okay, I can see this one at number 5. NBA Jam. Great game from the original NES and Genesis system. Originally came out in 1993, and we have had, of course, many, many iterations since then that have made the game a lot of fun. So that was one that I played, I enjoyed. So glad to see it there. Coming in at number 4, FIFA 13. I've never played any of the FIFA games. So
I didn't play 13, but I did play a lot of the FIFA's good line of soccer games. Yeah,
it's one of those. I think the older games for like FIFA, same thing with Madden, they were better a decade ago and more. And now I just feel like they're just recycling the same stuff over and over again and not giving you anything new. You know, it's just boring now. Like you're not bringing anything. It's like it's a roster update now. Okay, here's the new rosters. Yeah. Give me $70, please. No. Give me some new stuff. The big thing, get rid of the Frostbite engine, Madden. Get rid of Frostbite. Coming in at number 3, NFL Madden 2005. And I'll give it to him. Madden 2005 was probably the best Madden. And it was also the last Madden used before the Frostbite engine. And it was also the last Madden that came out before the NFL gave exclusive rights to EA Sports to produce NFL football games. Both of those things happened in that year. The year after, 2006, we get the Frostbite engine, and Madden is only on NFL is only on EA Madden. Ever since then, Madden football, straight decline.
Dang.
Been awful. Needs to, 1, drop the Frostbite engine. 2, the NFL needs to let other people make these games to challenge EA, because they're just sitting there just producing the same stuff every year. They don't care. They know you're going to buy it. They know the NFL's not taking away their license right now, although the license does end next year. So we might be able to see the year after that some guys starting to make some new NFL games. So if you guys are conspiracy theorists like me a little bit, don't get Madden this year, because if we can drop their numbers enough, we might be able to get 2K Sports back. Ooh, 2K football. Gimme. Coming in at number 2, NBA 2K11. I said 2K. What do we get? We get NBA 2K11. Great game. Probably one of the best basketball games I ever played, coming out in 2010. And coming in at number 1, will not argue this. Love this as number 1. ESPN NFL 2K5. NFL 2K5 was the absolute top, the absolute cream, and is still the absolute epitome of what every single football game should be. And it came out 20 years ago. Why do I have to go 20 years back to find the best football product when it was, 3 or 4 system generations ago for the original Xbox, and we're up to Xbox 4 or 6 or X or whatever we're at? We're up from PlayStation 2 to PlayStation 5 now? Come on, man. None of you guys, well, it's not none of you guys, it's EA, because EA is the only one that's had the exclusive rights since then to have it. EA, you really can't do it? Really? You're too greedy, guys. You're too greedy, and I think that will be their eventual downfall, is the greed of not making a better product. We need competition. We need better football out there. All right, done with my ranting on video games, although that was fun.
Well, maybe later in the show, if we got time, you can tell us like the worst games you've ever played.
E.T.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody knows E.T.'s the worst game ever played. But you're tuned in to the Sports Blitz. You can call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. When we get back, $2 bets and this day in history.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The afternoon underdogs.
Because of all the money and because of all the publicity and because of all the things that's been talked about Carson Beck leaving Georgia, going to the NFL draft, pulling himself out, signing with Miami, making all the money, driving a Lambo, getting the Lambo stolen. So the thing is like, it's a lot of stuff, and you wonder what he's going to do.
4 to 6 weekdays. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Every game matters, so don't miss a moment this summer as the Braves try to battle back in the standings.
Acuna swings, gets into it, deep center, to the wall, streaking out of here. 2-run home run, Ronald Acuna, first pitch.
Tonight, the division battles roll on for your Atlanta Braves as they look for a big home win against the Miami Marlins at Truist Park.
Pre-game coverage begins at 6 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. Your home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
If you have a problem with our hot takes, call us and say it to our face.
10 years from now, I'll be making a difference in this world while you'll be sitting there getting your diaper changed by your nurse.
The Sports Blitz is on the air. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are tuned into the Sports Blitz, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. You can call the show, text the show, 850-215-6290. We are streaming on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. You can find us as ESPN Northwest Florida and all those places. Download our app. Take us with you everywhere you go, and visit the website espnpc.com. Flags are yellow out there on this warm but kind of nice Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Our weekend is quickly approaching. Time for the $2 bets. How did we do last night with the bets? Well, 2 for 3 last night for me. I missed on the Marlins and Braves. I missed with Michael Harris getting a hit. He did not collect a hit. But I was correct with Stowers getting a hit. I was correct on the 8.5 runs being over. And I did get the correct response with the Braves plus 1.5. I did miss on the Reds and Pirates. I missed everything there. I missed on the over at 7.5 because the score was 7, and I missed on the Reds plus the 1.5 because the Reds didn't even bother to put up a single run on that one. However, I always say I don't bet NFL preseason. Or I always say, I shouldn't bet NFL preseason. And what does my degenerateness do? It bets NFL preseason. But hey, it worked out for me this time. I took the over on the Colts and Ravens at 36.5, and I took the over for the Bengals and the Eagles at 36.5. Both of those correct, so that $2 bet right there landed me a whole $7. Hey, how about that, ladies and gentlemen? So, overall last night, I gained $1 on my betting. But hey, I'm up. That's what matters. How am I feeling tonight? Well, let's take a look. I got the Angels and the Tigers. I will take the Tigers to win. Give me the over 7.5 runs. I'll take Torres for over half a hit, and I will also take Keith for over half a hit. That is a $2 bet that could get me 8 whole American dollars. Next up, let's go Rockies and Diamondbacks. I'll go with the Diamondbacks for the win. I will take over 9.5 runs and Zach Gallen to get over 5.5 strikeouts. That $2 bet, if it comes back to me, is worth a grand total of $10. And I said it earlier, I'll say it again, I shouldn't be betting preseason football, but here we are. $2 bet on this one. The Detroit and the Falcons, the Lions and Falcons, give me the over at 32.5. The Browns and the Panthers, give me the over 33.5. That's a $2 bet that could get me $7.16. All right, it is now time for some sports history. It is Friday, August 8th, 2025. Good Friday to y'all out there. On this day, 1984, Carl Lewis sets the Olympic record in the 200 meters with 19.8 seconds. 1992, the Dream Team picks up the gold medal, and Carl Lewis anchors a world record 400-meter relay, winning his 8th gold medal in 3 Olympics. The U.S. basketball team beats Croatia 117-85 with a 32-point margin of victory, the smallest of all the games for the U.S. that Olympics. In the 400, Mike Marsh, Leroy Burrell, Dennis Mitchell, and Lewis set a world record of 37.4 seconds. Steve Lewis anchors another world record as the Americans win the 1600 relay by nearly half the length of a football field. That's a pretty big old victory. The team of Andrew Valma, Quincy Watts, Michael Johnson, and Lewis ran the 1600 in 2 minutes, 55.74 seconds. This day, 2006, Roger Goodell is chosen as the NFL's next commissioner. Favored for months to get the job, he is unanimously elected by the league 32 owners on the 5th ballot. This day, 2012, Misty May Trenner and Carrie Walsh Jennings of the United States become the first 3-time gold medalist in the Olympic beach volleyball. Wow. The duo beat Jenner Kessie and April Ross 21-16 in the All-American final, extending their Olympic winning streak to 21 victories in a row.
A record that'll never be broken.
That is domination, ladies and gentlemen. This day, 2015, Katie Ledecky ends her World Swimming Championships in spectacular style, lowering her own world record by 3.61 seconds in the 800-meter freestyle with her 5th gold medal. The 18-year-old American completes a sweep of the 200, 400, 800, and 1500 freestyles in Kazan, Russia. She was the anchor leg for the victorious 4x200 free relay as well.
Nice.
This day, 2018, the NCAA Board of Governors and Division I Board of Directors adopt a series of significant policy and legislative changes as part of an effort to fundamentally change the NCAA's structure. The NCAA changes eligibility rules, allowing top prospects to hire agents in high school and giving college players more leeway to return after declaring for the NBA draft. This day, 2021, U.S. women's basketball team wins the record-extending 7th consecutive gold medal with their 90-75 victory over Japan. 2021, U.S. women's volleyball defeats Brazil in straight sets to win the gold medal. It's the first Olympic gold medal in U.S. women's volleyball history. The win would give the United States 39 gold medals, breaking the tie with China on the final day of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. And my game of the night tonight, it is going to be the Mets taking on the Phillies. The Mets are currently second place in the National League East. 2.5 games back are the Mets from the wild card. No, Mets are in the wild card spot by 2.5 games and are 2.5 games behind the Phillies. There we go. I knew I could get all this out of my head. All right, guys. It's been a great week. It's going to be a great weekend. Head on out and enjoy your weekend, everybody. For Bone Crusher, I'm James Fife. Keep your stick on the ice.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. So when a quarterback is unproven, like Caleb Williams or like J.J. McCarthy, camp